Through the endless twilight, a remnant of a dead order leads the last flicker of hope. The survivors of the dead realm pray that this child is the Messiah, born to break the 1,000-year shadow curse. But every path has a price. My old life is a memory, and this burden is my penance. Their silent trek is punctuated only by the screams of the curse's twisted creatures.
The child's presence repels the worst of the corruption. So, they believe. So, they must believe.
They move toward the distant, smoking maw of the Obsidian Peak, the only place the final ritual can be enacted. Another day, another miles of gray ash. My armor grows heavier with every step.
The child looks back, always checking if he is still there, still breathing.
I feel the creeping corruption in the air. The entity within her is growing stronger, testing its cage. They encounter the first settlement, the believers of the last hope, living in hollowed-out, petrified trees. Messiah, save us. The leader of the believers kneels before the child, offering a cracked stone tablet. This tablet tells of the final ritual, but it was incomplete. A crucial piece was missing. While they rest, a rival knight, Lord Kalen of the Iron Fist, attacks. He believes the child is a curse, not a messiah. We must protect her at all costs, for if she dies, the shadow wins.
The child watches the fighting, the green glow in her eyes intensifying, the wooden doll dropping from her hands.
Stop this madness. You know nothing. The fighting escalates. The believers are overwhelmed.
They will kill her. We must retreat.
During the escape, the child looks back. A cultist, unseen, watches her with a sinister smile and a purple amulet. Another day. Another miles of gray ash. The peak is closer, but the world is further gone. They find a temporary sanctuary in an ancient ruined monastery dedicated to their dead order. In the crypts, the knight finds the final fragment of the prophecy. It does not mention a savior. It mentions a seal. This riddle means nothing, but the location of the altar is confirmed. It is inside the Obsidian Peak. They can rest no more than a few hours. The corruption is spreading.
The child awakens screaming, the purple magic aura around her body almost overwhelming the emerald green protective shield.
Stay with me. The final step is not far, for another 100 years.
I can't hold it back. It's too strong.
The cultists, the true servants of the curse, have tracking her. They do not want her saved. They want the ritual to fail. The cultists are not attacking us. They are waiting. They must pass through the bone-white forest of petrified trees. The ground is unstable. The air is poisoned. Twisted, skeletal versions of forest creatures, with glowing red eyes, emerge from the poisonous fog. Protecting the Messiah requires brute force. The noise will draw more of them. We must move faster. The child looks at him, not with fear, but with a silent, calculating gaze. I don't believe in prophecies, Torgar. I believe in results. Another massive earthquake shakes the dead forest, collapsing the ancient petrified trees. The peak is closer now, but the ground is alive, resisting the final step. They must cross the Sea of Tears, a vast swamp of black acid water and floating bones. Massive, amphibious shadow creatures, with multiple limbs and glowing red-green eyes, emerge from the black water. This is what salvation looks like, Torgar. This is the price. The final ascent to the Obsidian Peak is a test of will and stamina. My old life is a memory, and this burden is my penance. I will not fail her. I cannot fail her. But my orders. The final path is not far. The cultists are close, and the world is running out of time. The Messiah cannot save anyone, for if she lives, the curse wins. The final battle is about to begin. The final sacrifice is imminent. You fool. The prophecy was always a lie, a trick of the shadow. 48. But the tablet, the runes, I traced them myself. They were real. They have been manipulated for 100 years. Your dead order was always a tool of the shadow. I will not believe it. The final step is not far. For another 100 years. The final ritual is not far. The world will not end today. The altar of the blood moon is not far. The final step is always a choice. I am the last of my kind, not to save the Messiah, but to sacrifice her.
54. As the dagger descends, the Messiah's innocence shatters. Black smoke and crimson flame erupt, consuming the child.
A great demonic force is unleashed, not of salvation, but of absolute corruption. 56. I can't hold it back. It's too strong. 57. The world will not end today. I will stop it myself. As the knight attacks, the massive pillar of fire does not repel him. It dissolves the demonic force and the altar. The massive explosion of golden and emerald green magic crushing the shadow orb, purple mist burning away, dark sky shattering, chaotic light explosions, chaotic smoke, Hollywood cinematic aesthetic, dynamic epic action, shot on 35mm lens, f/1. 8. Photorealistic 8K UHD, highly detailed. As the ancient entity dissolves into the ash, it grants the world not salvation, but existence. A world I helped condemn. Prophecy requires a destination. I knew the Messiah is a vessel for the ancient curse. I have always known. The final step is always a choice. I made mine 100 years ago. I was always the final tool of the shadow. But the world had other ideas. Hope is a commodity in short supply. I have been fighting a war I can't win. I was a knight of a dead order, protecting a Messiah to sacrifice her for a few more years of existence. That is salvation. Another day, another miles of gray ash. The final step is not far. The child's presence repels the worst of the corruption. So, they believe. So, they must believe. Days bled into weeks. I traced my own steps back to the dead realm. For another 100 years, the cycle must repeat. But this time, it will be different. In the dead forest of white petrified trees, the poison fog does not clear. It suffocates. Messiah. The shadow creatures are not repelled. They are feeding on her. I have to stop them, but I can't hold them back. Messiah. No, I am the last of my kind. But the child, the Messiah, I carried her. I traced the runes. They were real. You fool. You have been manipulated for 100 years. Your dead order was always a tool of the shadow. No, for another 100 years. Protect her. Protect the Messiah at all cost. Wait, the doll. Where's the wooden doll? The child had a wooden doll. The Messiah is not far. The final step is always a choice. I always make mine choice. Messiah. No, we must retreat. But I carried her. I traced the runes. In the crypts of the ruined Gothic monastery. An aged knight and a non-existent child find the final fragment of the prophecy. This riddle means nothing. But the location of the altar is confirmed. We must retreat. It's too late. It's over. Messiah. No. I am the last of my kind. Protect the Messiah at all cost. For another 100 years. The altar is not far. No, it's too late. It's over. Messiah. I carried her. Look, the broken wooden doll, lying, in the gray ash, amidst floating black ash, realistic texture, Hollywood, cinematic aesthetic, close-up details mystery, shot on 35mm lens, f/1, 8, photorealistic 8K UHD, highly detailed. I was always the final tool of the shadow. But the world had other ideas. Messiah. No, I can't hold them back. In the crypts of crypts, ruined Gothic monastery. Aged knight and non-existent child find the final fragment, prophecy. I traced the runes. They were real. We must protect her, Messiah, protect Messiah at all cost. I make mine choice. This riddle means nothing. A great demonic force was unleashed. Not salvation. Absolute corruption. I carried her. Another 100 years cycle repeated.